Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am so super excited because I bought Holbeins. I was saving up for the 100, but when I was looking at the colors, I noticed that they have a lot of pastels in there. And I'm happy with my Brut Funer pastels. Yeah, they're a budget brand, but I think they lay down pretty nicely. And of course, the Holbeins would be much more saturated, much more pigmented. But if I'm happy with what I have, I didn't know why I would buy a set that had so many pastels in it. So I decided to go for the 50 as a set. And then I'm just going to add on pencils of colors that I really like, especially if I go to an art store and have my swatches with me. And, then I could see what colors I like because I can test them out. If not, I'm going to rely on swatching videos similar to this one, but with the whole range, which I think are 150, but I am not exactly positive about that. So don't quote me on that. Whether it's 120 or 150, we'll see as I start to swatch them. So this is how, let me back you up a little. Okay, I had taken the plastic off, but I have not opened the box. So we're gonna see. So this is a color swatch. Those are never really accurate, so I don't pay attention to that. This might be which colors come in what sets. Okay, so there are 150 because I think this is it. It's boxes of, yeah, I think this is 150. So they obviously come in 150 colors, and I could see that's pretty useful. Oh, this is the light fast rating. Since I'm doing most of this in coloring books, I'm not really going to use this, but if I do any artwork, I'll look into it. But I don't sell my stuff, so it doesn't matter. This is a nice swatch card. It's slightly textured paper. However, it only has the 50, so I won't be using that. But here's the fun part. Ooh. They are such a beautiful pencil. Wow, they are really pretty. Now, I do have some pastel looking colors here, but I know this one, and I use this ice green a lot. So, yeah, not a problem. I just didn't want like 50 or 30 pastel colors. So I'm going to bring over my swatch sheet. Let me just move that to the side, and I'll bring you closer. There we go. So this is the swatch chart that I bought from Color with Claire. I think you just leave a donation, but you could say zero. She is so lovely to offer these color charts. And this is a family color chart. So these are the colors that she's saying work best together. And I used both of her polychromos and Prismacolor, and I use them all of the time. These are fantastic charts. If you've never gone to colorwithclaire.com, you might want to take a look over there because they are really nice color charts. So what I have here is when I started buying some of the Holbein colors. So these are the colors that I thought I would like. This raisin, I bought this online based on the chart. I didn't like that one at all. I never really use it, but it's good to have if you need a very dark reddish purple. But it's not really that beautiful a color to me. But the rest of them, I absolutely love every single color. And my absolute favorite, ice green. And this is a color that I've added to my Prismacolor set because Prismacolor does not have a very light aqua. They have what they consider a light and a dark, but not nearly as light as I like to go with an aqua. So today I'm obviously going to be swatching my new colors. So I'll try to put these here. So maybe, yeah, I think you could see them and still see the swatch chart. I don't think you need to see the entire pencil, so I'm gonna move that up a little bit so there's a little bit more emphasis on this chart. So my first color is Lemon 149. The way I'm going to color it, and I have colored it, is the mass tone is on the left, and then I start lightening my pressure so I can see what it looks like at its very darkest and its very lightest. So I'm not a really neat swatcher, so please forgive that I'm going to go out of these lines. I just do it so that I have a color chart. So that is Lemon. And that is a very pretty lemon. The next color is Canary Yellow. Now, I have not sharpened these. I know some people have said to me that there's a wax film and that you should really sharpen them first and you'll get like a better lay down of color. But honestly, I don't really have the time to sharpen all of these pencils and then do this swatching. So hopefully it works out. But that was Canary Yellow. Next up in the 50 set is Marigold. Okay, so we skipped a couple. Marigold is nice. It's a very light, it's like a golden yellow actually. It's more of a yellow to me than an orange in the light that I'm in, but yeah, it's pretty. I'm gonna probably say that 5,000 times on, oh, how pretty, wow, how pretty. So please forgive me for that. So this is orange, so I'm gonna put a little mark there. So now I actually have a duplicate. I was wondering if I was going to have any, but that was probably just wishful thinking. The next color up is Scarlet. Well, Scarlet is a very pretty red, leaning toward like an orangey pink. But it's like you know that this is the perfect watermelon color, like, the Crayola watermelon or whatever brand I'm thinking of. This makes a pretty watermelon color. So it's an orangey red. The next color is Carmine. And this is quite a bit darker than the Scarlet. I see that I might right away have to get the Signal Red if I want to blend this at all, or at least see if I can get a good blend. Because this is orange and this is bluish red to me. So we'll see. This is a very pretty red. I think this would be very useful. Next up, I have Magenta. So I am skipping over quite a few unless it's further along. It's a pretty pink. I think it looks slightly more muted than I would have expected from a magenta, but I am used to seeing the Prismacolor magenta, which is very bright, as is the Process Red, which is actually more pink to me than the magenta. So it's not really muted, but it's not as flaming bright as I had thought it would be. Still a pretty color. We're back to reds. This is the Crimson. So this is maybe the darkest red that Holbein has of the 150. And this is a nice brick red. Next up is wine red. Oh, I was wrong. There's I thought because I saw rose and strawberry that I was done with the reds, but there's a red wine and a burgundy, and this is where wine red fits. So I guess it's more, or at least Claire thought it was more in the strawberry red family, and it is a pinky red. Next up is raisin. Unfortunately, I don't like this color, and I have a dupe of it. So we'll just skip that one. And the next color is violet, and I thought I had violet. No, I don't. Oh, this is a lovely purple. This is definitely leaning into the blue purples rather than the red, but it is a beautiful color. Next up is indigo. Indigo and Indian Throne Blue are my two favorite watercolors. And this pencil is, yeah, kind of reminiscent of them. Maybe not as dark as some of the indigos that I have, but it is a muted sort of blue, like a really dark denim blue. Up next is Prussian blue. I'm not a huge fan of Prussian blue as a color. I don't know what I don't like about it, but I don't like it in watercolor either. Yeah, this is a decent one. Yeah, I don't mind this one, to be honest. It's pretty. The next color is royal blue. And that's right in front of my indigo. That's an interesting match. Yeah, that's an interesting match. As a color family, I kind of wish that there was a color in between these two, because this is a huge jump if I'm doing a layering, but I guess I could, try to blend them as best as I can. The next color is cobalt blue. And cobalt blue is such a useful color. It makes so many nice greens if you're mixing colors. If you want to layer blue and yellow together, it does make some nice greens. And this is a really pretty cobalt blue. It's nice and bright, as I would expect from the color. But yeah, that's really pretty. Next up is cerulean blue. Ooh, this one is really pretty. This would be a nice sky color. Really nice sky color. You don't have to go as saturated as I'm going all the way to the left. I just want to show you how dark the color can get. But this would be a nice, nice sky. Up next, I have turquoise blue. Oh, this is a beautiful turquoise, guys. It's a nice mid-tone. And this would be nice. I don't know what porcelain blue looks like yet. I don't know if I have it in the set, but yeah, wow, that's really pretty. And if this porcelain blue is in the turquoise family, I think that would be really nice. Okay, next up we have forest green. And I'm actually swatching these in the order, as you could probably see, that the set comes in. I think I would move this around and put these blues up in the front, the more pastel ones, but you know, we can do it any way we want. Okay, so forest green. This is a nice green. I don't think I would consider it forest green, and I don't know what I'm thinking of. I just assumed forest green would be darker than that. But it is a very pretty green. It might be nice for, you know, interspersing a darker and a lighter grass color. That might be quite nice. Next I have holly green. And we're way down here. Okay, this is what I would consider, or to me, this looks like a grass green. Holly, again, I expect a much darker green, because that's what the holly leaves look like here in the US. I don't know what, you know, strain we have of plant, but ours are dark. So this is like a grass green to me, or maybe a little slightly darker than grass green, but that's where I'm going with it. And the next is sap, which I have. So this is a duplicate. This is a color I just bought. And I bought it because I thought it did not come in this set. So my mistake. Next color is Viridian. Ooh, this is really bright. Oh, this is nice. This is a nice minty color. Yeah, it's like a dark mint. And this is emerald green. Ooh. Ooh, a really pretty color. These two are reminding me of two Prismacolor pencils. I can't think of what the names are, but they're definitely in that family. But that's a pretty nice, vibrant green. Up next, I have fresh green. This is a nice limey color. This is a nice, if you do food, this is a pretty lettuce color, like the color of lettuce or cabbage. I really like that fresh green. That is really pretty, really vibrant. Up next is apple green. This reminds me a little bit of Prismacolor Lime Peel. Maybe not as muted, but in that family. Yeah, this is definitely brighter than Lime Peel to me, but I don't have them side by side, but lovely. Up next is moss green. I'm not sure I'm thinking of the right color. Is it Celadon? Maybe it's not. It is reminding me of something, but it is a nice muted green. Really will be useful for leaves and trees, obviously, but this is a nice natural color. Up next is mustard. This color is really going down very saturated. I'm barely touching the paper. This is what I would call a neutral, or at least start of my neutral colors. I think it'll also be very nice for landscapes and leaves and getting variation. Next is yellow ochre. Pretty standard, but maybe, yeah, nice and bright, lays down really pretty, but you know, what you expect from a yellow ochre. Up next, I have burnt sienna. Maybe a little bit more red than I'm used to. Another useful color. That's going to be great for hair. And next color is light red. Claire has this with coral. So I guess she's considering it a pinky red. Yeah, I don't know how coral and this light red are gonna go, but I don't think I have coral in this set because this is still quite orangey to me in a reddish orange way, not like an apricot. So I'm not too sure about how those two are gonna go, but as always, it's a pretty color. Next up is raw umber. This is a muted light brown. I think this could be really useful for like portrait shadows, maybe. Could be useful for hair. Yeah, I like that color. The next color up is burnt umber. And this is what I would call a chocolate brown. I'll probably use this mostly for hair color, because I think that's a nice mid-tone brown. Next we have sepia. A nice color, but in this case, not as dark as I'm used to in a sepia. Well, now that I'm layering it, I think it can get pretty dark. I just think I'm used to a darker sepia from the Prismacolor pencil collection, but it is a nice brown and it's going to be quite useful. Okay, I think, is this pronounced Jaune Brilliant? And I think this is a skin tone. Yeah, I think it could be used as a skin tone. It's a little slightly toward the apricot, maybe yellow, but I think this is a nice light skin tone, or, you know, maybe the highlight color of a medium skin tone, but that's a pretty skin tone color. Next up, I have beige. Oh, I like this color. Again, I think this is a nice skin tone color. Yeah, I think if you're going toward the medium skin tone, I think this is pretty. Next, I have Naples Yellow. Oh, this is a nice bright one. I like this yellow. It's more natural than, let's say, you know, canary, lemon, and even the marigold. But this is a lovely natural color. I mean, that's really, really pretty. Yeah, I could see using this in some light sources. You know, you could do, you know, a gradient from brighter to more muted, or the other way around. Now we're back up on this chart, I think, because we are in pink. Oh no, she has pink down here. And where the more muted colors are. Yeah, this is a basic pink. This will be useful for me for portraits. Nice cheek color, like a makeup color. Next is, I think it says Cosmos. We are back up top. Guys, these colors feel so lovely going down. It is a harder pencil, so if you're very used to Prismacolors, you might find these a little hard when you first start using them. But the color is so pigmented that you don't really press at all with these pencils. But Cosmos is a nice middle pink. I like that. And I think also a nice cheek color. Next is Mauve. I like this as well, and I think this would be a nice cheek color for darker skin tones. I think it'll do, you know, really blend nicely. That's really a pretty pink too. And this is more, I think we're getting in like more purple. So we're obviously going toward the blue with that color, but I think that would be a nice, also really a pretty flower color. If you like doing flowers, these colors are all lovely, these pinks. Of course, now I feel like I need to get the rest of the colors, but it's going to be some time before I do. Next up is Lavender Blue. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that's pretty color. I'm not as intimate with the polys yet. I mean, I'm using them more and more, so I can't really say if this color is in the Polychromos collection, but this lavender is fairly unique to me. It doesn't look like the lavender in the Prismacolor set. Yeah, it's a little bit more pastel-ish, if that's a word. Up next is Aqua. It is a lovely color. It is pretty. I don't think I consider this an aqua. This just looks like a, a sky blue, maybe a little darker than a sky blue. So I don't think like, this is more aqua to me, like when it's a blue-green, like the ice green and this turquoise. But maybe I just don't understand the difference between turquoise and aqua, but that's a beautiful pastel blue. Up next is ice green, and I definitely have this. I have this in like every set. And we are warm gray number 3. So far I'm not really seeing that this set really needs to be sharpened before you get a very saturated color. Maybe they are going to be better once I sharpen them, but right now I just think that right out of the gate or out of the box, they work beautifully. That's a pretty warm, I think this is more of what I would call a French gray, I think, from the Prismacolor. And this is cool gray number 3. I find cool grays a little bit more useful for me. I don't know, maybe I just prefer the cool color over the warm, and that's why. It's very neutral. It's not too blue. It's a fairly neutral looking gray. And this is just black. Just wanted to make sure I was still in this frame. It's a black. There's not much to say about this one. Although for a black, I am wondering a little. I expected more saturation quicker, but maybe it does make a difference whether you sharpen them. The next 2 colors are 2 whites. I am not swatching those. I don't know why we have 2 whites, to be honest. Oh, one is a white and one is a soft white. Next up, I have what it's calling a luminous opera pink or opera. So this looks like a neon to me. And it is a fluorescent pink. This is the first pencil that I'm finding slightly scratchy. I don't know if it's the luminous part of it. This is the first pencil out of 50 that I'm feeling is a little scratchy. Next one is Luminance Yellow. Or is that lemon? Yeah, sorry, Luminance Lemon. Okay, I am finding this scratchy as well. This is very much a fluorescent yellow. Unfortunately, not that useful to me. This is not a palette that I use often. However, I do have Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosanes, and I am doing really bright colors in that. So, maybe I will get some use out of these luminance colors. So, yeah, this I'm a little disappointed in, only because I don't think I'm going to be using this unless it's stunning. And this is a silver, which, always looks kind of like a gray in a coloring book to me. I don't really see that much of a sheen in most pencils. Let's see when I lay all of the color down. Yeah, I'm not seeing it that much, to tell you the truth. This is a little bit of a disappointment that they put in a silver and a gold. I think the gold might have a little bit more of a sheen on it, but again, in my coloring books, these never really look metallic. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I mean, I could barely see it in person that it's a metallic. So these 2 to include in a small 50 set, I wouldn't have done. I also would not have included 2 whites in a the 50 set. Those 4 are a little bit of a disappointment to me, but the rest of the colors are really, really pretty. I only have 4 duplicates, and 3 of those 4 I think I would use up pretty easily. The raisin is the one that I probably will never get to. So there's definitely still a lot. There's a little bit under 100 pencils because I had bought a couple of other colors that I could buy, and I will start going when I go to an art store, and really only the Blicks in Manhattan carry Holbein as, you know, one-off sales. So it's going to be when I go to one of those stores. And then I'm not sure they even have the full 150. I don't think I've ever seen it. You know, I think I would have preferred, instead of those other 4, another gray from both the warm and the cool. I wish we had the lamp black instead of a regular black, because this doesn't feel like a very saturated black. I mean, it is saturated, but I expected a blacker black, if that makes any sense at all. So I think instead of like this gold and silver, I would have liked 2 more grays. Not too crazy about having these, although maybe in Alien Worlds, these 2 colors will be useful. I think right now, I can't tell you what I would replace it with because I don't have so many of the colors. I just think that these are more specialty colors, and I think that they belong in a 150 set and not in a 50. But otherwise, I am in love with my Holbein pencils and can't wait to use them. So thanks for sticking around and watching me swatch. I hope that this is useful to other people, as you know, like I find these swatching videos useful. So thanks so much for dropping by, and if you stayed this long, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. So thanks. Have a great day. Bye, guys.